I mean, this is the whole Forrest Gump. Both of them is happening at the same time because he didn't have any guaranteed money this year. He was supposed to make $10 million this year, but none of that was guaranteed. But he turned it into guaranteed money by taking the pay cut over the next 2 years to stretch out that money. Obviously, he has his legal issues, and Saquon doesn't have anything like that in his future to put things in jeopardy. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, or I don't think Saquon's out of his mind for not wanting to play for $10 million, just 1 year fully guaranteed. I think I believe I would stand behind him going for 14.
Oh, I will not besiege him for chasing every U.S. dollar he possibly can get.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a running back, I mean, look, third full contracts, that's not happening. I don't care who you are.
Right.
We just saw DeAndre Hopkins get more than I thought he was going to get. As a 30-year-old receiver, you're not going to see that out of a running back. So this is your shot. This is your bite at the apple, and I don't have a problem with you going to get it. I really don't.
The question is, how do you convince them of that, and what do you eventually settle on? Would you be happy with a 3 years at $13 million? How much of that has to be guaranteed? So you got a $36 million contract. How much does that have to be guaranteed for Saquon to take the?
Well, you're not getting a guarantee of more than half. So,
and see, I think I would demand it. I wouldn't play for anything less than half of it guaranteed. Like if you're going to give me $36 million,
there's a possibility they're going to look at you and go, well, then you're just not going to play.
And maybe so. And at that point, I will play for the $10 million.
And that's
because I'm not leaving $10 million on the table. $10 million, he's still one of the top 8 paid running backs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get you feel like you're worth 2 or 3 money, but I'm not giving you as much as Christian McCaffrey got. He's playing on $16 million this year. We're not coming close to that.
No.
And Alvin Kamara is 2 at 15. I don't know. I don't think I'm giving you that either. But we can very well talk in the 14 range.
And say, I don't think they're going to come anywhere near that.
Really?
I don't. I mean, you look up and down the market, and there's just not a whole lot of comps. And as this keeps going, it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse.
Which is why in the next 45 minutes, New York better come up with a scenario.
And I
don't know if that's possible.
I don't know that it's going to happen.
I don't know if it's possible because it was reported, last week, I believe it was, the week before last, it was reported that Saquon and the Giants were close. And then he up and flipped and got a new agent. He went from Rock Nation to CAA. He brought in the big dogs because I guess somebody from CAA got in his ear and went, there's no reason you should be taking this much money. I can get you way more than that. And a CAA comes in and says, I can get you 14. Because I got to imagine that's where they're at. We're talking not
of what he wants or what he's going to get.
I'm saying that's where the discussion has to be. Because I think the Giants would be just hanging up the phone if he said, I want 17 a year. They're like, screw that. We're not doing that. Nobody's ever getting Christian McCaffrey money again.
I think they're hanging up at 14.
Maybe.
I do. I think if that's where Saquon Barkley is, then this is going to be ugly for an extended period of time.
And it just strikes me as I just never thought he would be a guy that would do that. Like I would think Saquon would be the guy that would take the deal. Take the deal, not necessarily like Joe Mixon, because I don't have to. Joe Mixon painted himself into this corner, right? I had to take the pay cut to stay on a winning team.
I mean,
and to get some security.
And you're talking about because of the personal issue.
Absolutely.
I don't disagree, but I don't necessarily know that that's exactly why this happened. I think the Joe Mixon thing happened because they looked around and went, you know what? What is the real difference between you and Samaje Perine? We know you're a better running back. Mm-hmm. Samaje Perine was pretty good last year too.
Mm-hmm.
We let him walk out the door, and he got what, $2.5 million from the Broncos? There is no absence of running backs on the market.
Yeah.
And this is simple supply and demand. When there is a crazy amount of supply of guys that you can have for the low price of just $3.99, it's like one, you don't have a whole lot of leverage. Right. We know you're better. You're still a running back.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at.
And if I don't strike now and get the money, when can I? That's the problem that the running backs have.
No doubt.
Josh Jacobs is coming off of a great year. Fantastic year. He will never have another year like that. I don't think.
And that's, I don't either. And it's ironic you said that, because since we're back, we've been gone forever. Now it's time to talk about fantasy football. And so today we're going to talk about players that, well, they concern us a bit. Mm-hmm. Guys that we're not necessarily as high on. That'll be the daily draft. Tank and I going back and forth. For those of you that have asked for a way to keep up with the daily draft, you now have one of those. You'll see that at 5 o'clock. Be able to see who each one of us have drafted. Had a lot of time to sit in a room by myself, and we have new graphics and all the things. And we've already learned in the first segment, when Jeremy's gone for 2 whole weeks, sometimes he forgets to plug things in, and things go sideways 4 minutes in.
It's all good.
Time passes and nothing really changes.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingalls, we know your closest companions are the ones who are always there for you. The ones you trust to have your back, no matter what. Who make the hard times a little softer. And the good ones, somehow, a little better. That's what family is all about. Whether they walk on 2 legs or 4. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
The original Tough Man contest hits the ring at Silverado's in Black Mountain July 28th and 29th. See the toughest fighters go toe-to-toe in live action. Tickets are $20 in advance and $30 the day of the show. The original Tough Man competition, July 28th and 29th at Silverado's in Black Mountain. Ringside and VIP tickets are available. Get yours now at silveradoswnc.com. silveradoswnc.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match, only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Dr. Conrad, after all night in the lab, I've cracked the formula for black titanium.
Go on.
It's the luxury of black, the power of titanium, the best odds at $300 and a top prize of $4 million, all in this scratch-off.
This is gonna be big.
So, am I getting a raise?
Let's see. New black titanium from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Why do you change your car's air filter? Because when it's clogged, it doesn't work. The same is true of your nose, the body's air filter. It's great at trapping allergens, dust, and viruses, but unless you clean it regularly, they can stay trapped, making you miserable. I'm Martin Hogue, inventor of Navage, the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs. Here's a testimonial from a verified purchaser and a big Navage fan. Quote, I've been suffering for 30 years with chronic sinus infections and allergies. I stumbled across Navage. The suction is amazing. It cleared my sinus cavities better than anything I've tried before. Unquote. Navage has over 120,000 reviews with a 4.6-star average written by people who use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Wash your body's air filter with Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
Welcome back into the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, and don't forget, we've been gone for a little while.
Trust me, we didn't forget. Life happens. You have to do your civic duty.
We've been gone for a little while, vacations and jury duties and all of that, and wanted to remind everybody there's still time to get in on the Beer City's Ultimate Fantasy Football Weekend Experience thing.
If you want us to host your league's fantasy football draft, that's really easy to do. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can find the links in the description of the video, or if you're driving around in your car, don't do unsafe things because you don't want to do crimes because you might end up – never mind. No good can come from what I'm going to say.
It is going to be a quote-unquote one-of-a-kind draft experience with us emceeing your draft, being commissioner, calling out the picks. We're going to get the full red carpet treatment for you and your buddies. It's up to a 12-man league. We're not doing 16-team leagues.
Yeah, if you've got some 20-team vampire, sorry, we can't really we don't have the infrastructure for that.
No, but it's up to for leagues up to 12 people, and you can get in on the contest there. All of the links are in the description on the YouTube channel. You can also find that on our social medias. But now's the time, as fantasy season is rolling up, rolling up to us, I guess is the way I need to put that. It's time. It's time to start focusing on this with training camp starting in 2 weeks.
Well, and it's ironic you said that. The fantasy football season is creeping up on us because what that means is that it's almost time for our second edition of the Battle for the Belt. And we took the rules from last year. We did some things well. We did some things not as well. And on Friday, we are going to tell you what is different this year from last year. And I will just give you we'll give you a little teaser. It's beneficial if you're one of the people that got in early as opposed to waiting until after Friday.
Nice.
So there's a little benefit there. Also, the way this year's rules work, so long as you keep advancing, there will not be a situation like last year where, we come to the last week and Michael Meadows has just absolutely dog-walked us all, because this year there's 2 belts.
Yeah. There's like a runner-up belt?
Nope. You have to tune in on Friday. I'll tell you.
Are we getting a loser belt? Tell me there's a loser. I saw one of those on Facebook the other day.
I need a loser belt because that's one I can actually win. It's just got a emoji of a do on it.
See, now that's it. I get that. That could be a punishment that I could get down with.
Nope.
So there are tattoo leagues that do the loser of the league has a tattoo done by everybody. Loser belt. I like that idea.
I still am completely dedicated to getting you into a tattoo.
Because the picture that I saw was a guy with a belt, and it was kind of diamond-shaped plaque on the front of the belt, and it had a big old rainbow unicorn thing on the front that said, "I suck at fantasy football." I went, absolutely. That's the kind of loser league that I could get on board with.
See, I'm going to get you in a tattoo league.
No, you're not.
100% I am.
No, you're not.
I don't care how I have to incentivize it, and I don't care if you think you can get all other 10 people in that league to team up against me. Not only am I going to get you in one, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to make you get the tattoo. Because I have one that would be hilarious, at least for you.
That's exactly why I will never do that.
Well, I mean, it's not as good as the one I came up with for Cowboy Zach Hurst, which is why he absolutely refuses to do one of those leagues ever, because I made the stupid mistake of telling him.
Right.
And now, he won't do it.
See, I need to be in a league with level-headed people who are like, it's going to be funny, but it could still be something that's not going to, embarrass you for the rest of your life kind of thing.
I would do a tattoo league with 11 listeners of this show. If we could come up with 11 listeners of this show that went, yeah, let's do that, I'm in.
It is the Sports Talk. No tattoo leagues in the Battle for the Belt. There is no tattoo punishment for any of that. So just so you know, we won't be making you do that.
No, you don't have to get a tattoo in the battle for the belt. But this year it is going to be – the rules will be a little bit more streamlined. The advantageous part of jury duty is that I sat in a room by myself for 4 hours or 4 days, conspiring how to do all these things. And, we fixed some bugs, came up with some solutions.
Since we're coming up on the fantasy drafts and such, and we just talked about the franchise tag extension or the extension deadline for the franchise tag guys is coming up at 4:00. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, are you shying away from either of those guys in drafts because of this?
I don't care about the contract situation. I don't care. You will play.
And see, that's where I'm at. Like, I don't know what your money situation is going to be like, but I got a very tough time believing that Saquon Barkley or Josh Jacobs are going to look at that $10 million and go, oh, yeah, I'm not playing this year. I just find it very hard to believe. A team is going to give you top 10 money, and you're not going to play on it. Because the only thing you're doing is hurting your own value. Right? I mean, Le'Veon Bell tried this with the Pittsburgh Steelers, as you talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. And now he says, I shouldn't have done that. I should have taken the money. I should have taken whatever deal they had, stayed relevant. Because once he did that, and he went to the New York Jets.
And he wound up with Adam Gase.
His career exploded.
Mm-hmm. And now he's fighting in celebrity boxing events.
And I think Saquon and Josh both are looking at this scenario going, I'd like to have more money, but I don't think I can stand on that hill. I don't think I could stand on that hill and go, I refuse to play or you pay me. Because your shelf life is just not that long as a running back. Sitting out a year is not going to help either of these guys.
No, but it doesn't scare me of their value. In terms of going into fantasy football, I am not worried about any of the three that could potentially have this problem. Because you are going to play, because running backs age like dairy products that got left outside in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So you just, it's not for long. So you're going to strike while the iron's hot.
Yep.
Saquon, is there a possibility he sits out week one? Sure. He's floated that. I think his representation has floated that. But am I scared he's going to miss more than that 1 week? No, I'm not.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, we'll get just a bit outside. And there was a guy that got paid over the weekend, signed the contract. DeAndre Hopkins headed to Tennessee.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have had a day of haze and smoke across the area. This is down from the Canadian wildfires, and it looks like it sticks around here tonight. Temperatures in the mid-60s in the valley, close to 90 tomorrow. I think we'll see some rain come in, try to clean the atmosphere out some Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chance for rain showers, temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, nighttime low temps in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
The IRS is ramping up collection, and if you owe back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, listen carefully. Before it's too late, check your eligibility for the Fresh Start program still offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problems. Call our special hotline number now and find out in minutes if you qualify for these life-changing debt reduction programs. Business or personal, if you're in a payment plan with no end in sight, have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to know your options, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief and stop collections immediately. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau with a 5-star rating from Yelp, this veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. Call their hotline number now, 800-914-1510. That's 800-914-1510. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-914-1510 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
Kane Brown,
Lil Wayne,
Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott,
Tim McGraw,
TLC,
30 Seconds to Mars.
Get your tickets now.
For 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
AXS.com.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. And have you seen the Netflix documentary Quarterback yet?
I did. I haven't yet. I did hear a very funny line from Kirk Cousins about he could walk on water, and they'd say it's because I can't swim.
Yeah.
Which
that was the greatest
hilarious
quote. The greatest quote that came out of that was he was quoting, I believe it was Margaret Thatcher. He said that originally said, "If I walked on water, my critics would say I just can't swim." And he's right. Kirk Cousins has always been that guy. That he gets out there, he gets the job done. We make fun of him because he's not elite, right? The whole Justin Jefferson thing. Did you see he had a response to that today? The Justin Jefferson top 5 quarterbacks. Somebody asked him about that last week, and he listed off his top 5, and it was the top 5 that any of us would give. Kirk Cousins is not on that list. And then there were some in the media that made that out to be a bigger thing, like, oh, wouldn't you put your quarterback on the top 5 list?
But not if he's not in the top 5.
No, he's not in the top 5. And when they asked Kirk Cousins about it, finally, I think it was yesterday, he tells the media, well, people have to tell the truth, and I hope that in 2024 I can be on that list. It's the perfect Kirk Cousins response. All right, the quarterback thing, it was good. It was really good. They followed around 3 quarterbacks last year, every week of the season, got the ins and outs of their stories, and they went with Patrick Mahomes, who's, the greatest quarterback of all time, or building that legacy right now. They went Kirk Cousins, who's Mr. Steady Eddie. He's not necessarily elite, but he's right on the cusp. And then they went with Marcus Mariota. And I was like, I get you want contrasting views here, like looking at quarterbacks in the different eras or different stages of their career, but I could have done without all of the Marcus Mariota stuff. To me, that's not a story even worth telling.
Well, that's triple A's. You got awesome, average, and awful. That's it. I get it.
They wanted to cover all the bases, and they're following around Marcus Mariota. Now, I will say this. I have not finished the series yet. I have gotten at least 4 episodes in. I think I watched some of the 5th episode and fell asleep. So I haven't finished it all, but we know where the story goes from here. Like, Marcus Mariota obviously lost his job with Atlanta. They turned it over to Desmond Ridder with 4 weeks left in the season. And who didn't see that coming at the beginning of the year last year? I guess my mind is just stuck on, how did the producers look at this and go, yeah, Marcus Mariota, that's going to be a great story. Because you got a third of this documentary following around one guy who's setting the league on fire, one guy who's, at times, at least they had some good stories. There was the Buffalo game and the greatest comeback of all time and all of that with the Minnesota Vikings. Then you got Marcus Mariota over here, who nobody expected him, I don't think, to make it as many games as he did last year. Did you expect him to make it through 12 games? I didn't.
I mean, it kind of. but only because I know what Desmond Ridder is. And it's whatever adjective you want to use, it is an antonym of the word good.
Indeed. Now he's a backup with the Philadelphia Eagles. All I'm saying is that was a good series, but they could have cut out a third of that series. And I'd have been completely fine with it. And now Marcus Mariota's got another backup job in the league with the Philadelphia Eagles. And for why?
I am a huge fan of hyperbole. I do it a lot. But one of the things that I hear a lot is, oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Or that's the smartest thing you've ever said. I am officially getting ready to tell you a story that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
Okay.
I do not understand this event. I do not understand how we have allowed this event to get to where it is. Did you or did you not know that we are actively running the Tour de France right now?
I did know that.
You did know that. Okay. I did not. Namely, and I can't emphasize this enough, because I do not care. All right? There is very little that could happen in this event that would make me talk about it. But here we are. Stephen Tao said that's not how you pronounce hyperbole. Yes, I'm well aware of that. That is 3.5 years. Have you not figured out that's one of the things I do? Mispronounce words on purpose. Throwing that out there. Anyway, the Tour de France is happening right now, and we have a bit of a problem. It's spectators on the side of the road that won't get out of the way. We have had 3 wrecks caused by people trying to take selfies in the middle of this stupid race. And now they're just looking around going, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Isn't there, though? Isn't there something you can do about it? Maybe push back a boundary. Maybe get a security guard. I don't know. Maybe it's a stupid idea to have a bajillion cyclists driving down or cycling down the streets of France with a bunch of people on the side of the road. I have never understood this race. I've never understood the appeal of this race. When Lance Armstrong was doing his thing, okay, I guess I get it. I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, because he was doing something nobody had ever done before.
Well, yeah,
we didn't
steroids.
know. We didn't know at the time.
Yeah, like all the steroids, all of them at one time.
We didn't know that he was doing the blood therapy thing.
Didn't we, though? No. I think we kind of did.
No.
Really? So, all right, let me get this straight. So, you watched a guy that routinely finished, I don't know, top 25 in this little event, and then all of a sudden he's the Michael Jordan of cycling.
Just came into his prime.
And you didn't go, I wonder if something untoward happened there.
No, it just came into his prime. That's all we needed.
That explains to me how you're a baseball guy. Barry Bonds, he was a good player. And then one day, head got a little bigger, and all of a sudden, he is just obliterating every record known to man.
To me, the Lance Armstrong story is further proof of sports are better when you're doped.
I mean, at Sports Think ESPN. I didn't say that.
Are they not?
I didn't say you were wrong.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't say you were wrong. Straight up, I didn't say you were wrong.
I mean, I also, during our downtime, I did finish, which is weird. I didn't finish the quarterback thing as much as I love football, but somehow I was able to finish 2 documentaries on the American Gladiators. Of course those guys were doing steroids.
Yeah.
Like, who was shocked by that? Like, I don't remember that. I don't remember any of the scuttlebutt about the American Gladiators. Are they on steroids or are they not on steroids? It was 1991, and I really didn't care all that much.
Yeah,
there's some big hulky guys on my TV hurting each other. I'm going to watch it. Yep. And I don't care if they're on a level playing field. Like, how could you look at a guy like Malibu and go, yeah, no, that guy's clean?
I just love the fact that Malibu was an actor, and they went, hey, you're big, go do athletic stuff. But I don't do that. Don't care.
Don't care.
Go ahead.
Go do it.
Go do it. You go look like Fabio and obliterate people.
Absolutely.
And that's fine.
It made it more palatable to watch. 1998 home run chase would not have been what it was had we not had the steroids, right? We all know this. The Barry Bonds chase for the record. We all knew he was on steroids. I remember calling in on vacation. I was on vacation, coming from Charleston up here, and I remember calling in to a local radio station, which is the competitor, and arguing with those guys about Barry Bonds. Like, of course he's on steroids. We all know he's on steroids. But I don't care because it's the only story we're talking about in baseball right now. And hell, that was what, 2003? 2002?
Oh, yeah, it was back there. Yeah, here's my stance on anything like that. Is what you're doing hurting anybody but yourself? Oh, okay, then that's none of my problem. That's not my concern.
Right.
So you do you.
No, the Tour de France was better when Lance Armstrong gave us something to root for. Ever since then, of course, we don't watch it because there's no one competitive in it as far as we know.
Is
there an American that's running high on this that you know of?
I don't know, and I'm going to assume no.
I'm just curious.
Speaking of somebody giving a fan base something to cheer for, we had a signing in the NFL over the weekend, and I'm really curious to see if this is moving the needle for you in the least.
DeAndre Hopkins going to the Tennessee Titans?
Correct.
Yes. I mean, a little bit. I mean, for that team, it has to, right? Because now you have a threat. Now you have a wide receiver threat on this team. You didn't have that before. I wasn't worried about this team when they just had Treylon Burks.
Are you worried about them now?
Much more than I was. To me, this team was like a 5-6 win team. Now they could be an 8-win team. Yeah.
In the AFC.
Maybe.
Really? So you
Mike
think
Vrabel
he's going
is
to
one of the best coaches in the league. He will figure out a way to win games. I think he's proven that since he got to Tennessee.
I don't dispute anything you just said.
And now I have an elite receiver that has just joined this offense.
Elite. I don't like that word you just used.
DeAndre Hopkins is not elite to you anymore?
So the mothership today is putting out, position rankings in Madden or ratings. And DeAndre Hopkins was, 7? He was somewhere in the top 10. And I absolutely laughed out loud when I saw that. Not because I don't think he's still good, but the fact that he's ahead of like A.J. Brown might be the stupidest thing I've seen today. I'm not disputing that he's better than anything they had. I'm also still looking at this team going, all right, now I have a receiver I have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's play a fun game. Let's think about the teams that the Titans play over the course of the year. You start at the Saints. They have what's that guy? Oh, Marshawn Lattimore.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to the Chargers. Oh, what's that guy's name? J.C. Jackson. Cleveland Browns. Denzel Ward. I literally can do this through the entire schedule. You don't play any team outside of the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm not giving that kind of credence to Kenny Moore, that I don't believe can deal with your one guy.
Mm-hmm.
I also come back to your quarterback and go, who is supposed to be throwing him the ball? And so it's 35-year-old Ryan Tannehill in the AFC. Yeah, I don't care, not even nary a little bit. You know what you just did? You made yourself the second best team in this division. You know what that and $1 will get you? A Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody that doesn't win this division is making the playoffs. Because I could make the argument the second best team in this division is no better than the 5th worst team in the AFC. Because the Titans, or the Texans, are awful. The Colts are awful. By the way, anybody see the irony that, Anthony Richardson is really inconsistent?
Oh.
Who'd have thunk it? In other news, water's wet, today's Monday.
Right.
I mean, I understand why Tennessee did it, because you have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have a receiver that scares you even a little bit. And Treylon Burks is not that guy. But it doesn't change how I feel about the Titans in the least.
Don't think they'll be able to score more points.
I also have lost quite a bit of respect for DeAndre Hopkins. You go through all this of, I've got to have a better quarterback. You went to one of the only teams in the NFL that has a worse quarterback than who you started with.
I hear no lies.
So for me, it just does nothing. It is I don't care. DeAndre Hopkins, and we're talking about fantasy football today. Where exactly do you put him now? All right, now you know where he goes. Where do you rank him among fantasy receivers? Is he in the top 10?
No.
No, God, no. Is he in the top 15?
No,
good Lord, no. Is he in the top 25?
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
We're getting closer.
I would probably say he's right there in that top 20-ish range.
Also, how many times do you have to watch aging receivers go to the Tennessee Titans and their career dies?
I mean, I get it.
Before you go, maybe there's something to this.
But is DeAndre there? Because I saw that earlier today, and I was thinking about it. I mean, I feel like this situation's a little bit different. I mean, Julio Jones, I thought was gassed before he went to Tennessee. I don't look at DeAndre Hopkins and go, that guy's gassed. I just don't. I mean, he's been hampered. What? He got hampered by an injury and then a suspension. Other than that, I mean, he's still.
What was the suspension for?
I get it. It was PEDs.
Mm-hmm.
And how'd he do the rest of the season? He was pretty damn good. He was on pace for like 1,500 yards last year without the suspension. So I feel like he could come in. Is he A.J. Brown? No. Which, by the way, you should have paid A.J. Brown.
No doubt.
I mean, if you were going to pay DeAndre Hopkins $15 million a year, or a potential for, $17 million a year? Because I think the max on this contract could be like $32 million with incentives and all that.
So you're getting close. For me. He had 700 yards last year in 9 games. Woo.
But extrapolate that out, that's still elite territory.
He had 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
On a team that could not stop a nosebleed with a roll of paper towels. And had actual legitimate weapons outside of him. Zach Ertz is better than anybody the Tennessee Titans have, not named Chickaconquwa. Maybe Traylon Burks, but you're projecting because he has not shown that to you yet. And so now you're telling me I'm going to go into a place where my quarterback gets worse, the division's more competitive, the conference is more competitive, and now I'm going to go back to what I was 3 years ago? Yeah, I don't buy it. Don't buy it. Doesn't make any sense. You're 31 years old now, or you will. I believe he will be 31 before the. No, he's already 31.
Mm-hmm. Just turned 21,
I'm good.
I think, or 31.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And if I was DeAndre Hopkins, this would not have been the offer I was taking. If you're trying to convince me that you're wanting to win, your actions are not speaking to that. Because the 2 teams you visited were the Patriots and the Titans. Places where people that you have existing relationships with are.
Yeah, but they're not.
That are both also desperate as all get out.
I was going to say, but they're not great. They're not great relationships.
Well, the ones in Tennessee are. Best year of his life was with the play caller that is now calling plays for the Titans.
I was talking about New England. I never thought that was
I didn't either. I never bought that for a second. It didn't make any sense. And to me, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It makes more sense to me than New England, though.
All right. I want to challenge you on that.
Okay.
If I told you one of these 2 teams made the playoffs, the Patriots or the Titans, and I guaranteed it, I went back to the future, you're telling me you would believe it was New England over Tennessee? Because I don't.
No, not now. Not now that you have DeAndre Hopkins.
That doesn't sway me nearly enough in that.
Really?
No. Because I wouldn't have said it with New England with DeAndre Hopkins. I don't buy it. Your schedule is awful. The Titans are at least in a division that is awful. So you've got 4 games that you could win just by being the definition of an average NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that in New England.
No, I think we're saying the same thing. He definitely should have chose Tennessee over New England, my opinion.
I would have just for me, you said that what was important to you was playing with a high-level quarterback and the chance to win, and you signed in a place that is not a thing.
Well,
because you scared off everybody else because you wanted this much money.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worth this much money. You got it from Tennessee because they're desperate.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tennessee, I mean, great. You've got a day here that's going to make you feel hunky-dunky, and you got a jersey you can go buy. And you can put it right beside that Andre Johnson and Julio Jones jersey. How'd that work out for you?
Andre Johnson, I had forgotten about that one.
Yeah, it also did not go particularly well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like DeAndre does have a lot left in the tank. Something that I didn't think Julio had. So I don't see these as
weird. Hey, by the way, just out of curiosity, how old was Julio Jones when he played for the Titans?
31.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Weird. Receivers fall off a cliff at 31.
Most of them. Most of them.
All right. Project his stat line.
DeAndre Hopkins' stat line?
Let's say he plays 17 games. To catch 100 passes.
I'd go 1150 and 8.
I'll take the aggressive under on both of those.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Ingalls Markets and iHeartRadio Asheville have declared July Public Safety Appreciation Month. Throughout the month, we'll be recognizing our hard-working public safety officers from Asheville, Waynesville, Weaverville, Canton, and the Sheriff's Department of Haywood County and Buncombe County. Our good friends at Ingalls Markets will be providing a one-time lunch for all, and we'll be making an appearance at each department as well to thank them for their hard work in keeping us safe. July is Public Safety Appreciation Month with Ingalls Markets and iHeartRadio Asheville.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Research shows people remember ads with wacky sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes and saves you hundreds on home insurance, here's something zany.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. To reiterate, these sounds are just to help you remember how much you'll save. Oh, come on.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
The Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event starts now with limited quantity deals on top business PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Plus, get special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
Coffee closes on me. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the work.
If there was ever a time to get stuck on a jury for a week and miss a week full of shows, it would be during the Major League Baseball All-Star Week, which is exactly what I did last week. But now I'm back with bangers. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. I got two picks, and they're exactly opposite one another. First, the Rays travel to Texas to take on the Rangers, over under 8.5. Shane McClanahan, Dane Dunning, two of the best pitchers in the league right now, and have two of the lowest ERAs. McClanahan's coming back from a back injury. I don't know exactly what he's going to be, but he's only allowed more than 4 earned runs in a start once all year. Yeah, he gives up some home runs. I'm not overly worried about that. This number just seems really high, so I'm going aggressive under the 8.5. In terms of who wins, well, Texas is at home, and I know exactly what Dane Dunning is. I don't feel exactly the other way on the other side, so I'm going to take the Rangers' money line plus 105. Next, the Guardians travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. This over-under is 9.5, and it's the exact opposite of what I just said. 2 pitchers, one who has never pitched in this league before, one who hasn't started a game all year. For me, over 9.5 is easy. I'm backing Pittsburgh to win because they're at home. I also think they're just a slightly better team, but it's kind of a toss-up. I wouldn't go hard on the Pirates or the Rangers, but I would go aggressive under the first 8.5, over the second 9.5. For more, follow us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Green on Green is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have had a day of haze and smoke across the area. This is down from the Canadian wildfires, and it looks like it sticks around here tonight. Temperatures in the mid-60s in the valley, close to 90 tomorrow. I think we'll see some rain come in, try to clean the atmosphere out some Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chance for rain showers, temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, nighttime low temps in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Laurier-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
When you order food for work on EasyCater.com, we've got your back. Real humans are here to help with your order every step of the way, making sure everything goes right, even behind the scenes without you knowing, confirming and double confirming with the restaurant that everything is on track. If there's a problem,
thanks for calling EasyCater.
Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. We're right here with 100,000 restaurants, working hard to ensure the food arrives on time and is ordered. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Wendy's BOGO $1 deal is back at participating Wendy's. Buy a Dave's Single, spicy chicken sandwich, 10-piece nugs, or medium frosty, and get another for $1. Double your deliciousness. Hurry, this BOGO deal won't last.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Sports Center. Your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our
sign long-term deals with their respective teams. Waiting for word on any developments with the trio of tagged running backs: Saquon Barkley of the Giants, the Raiders' Josh Jacobs, and Dallas's Tony Pollard. Unlike Barkley and Jacobs, Pollard did sign his franchise tag and attended the Cowboys' offseason program. Free agent receiver DeAndre Hopkins made his choice. ESPN's Diana Rossini reports he's expected to sign a 2-year deal with the Titans instantly. He becomes the most veteran receiver in Tennessee's inexperienced wideout room. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
You got D-Hop on the outside. You're going to have to respect D-Hop. He's not a burner. He's not going to run past you. But the one thing that DeAndre Hopkins is going to do, any ball thrown in his vicinity, he's going to catch the ball. He's going to be the number one guy.
And this just in from ESPN's Jordan Bernard. The Giants and Barkley failing to strike a deal before the tag deadline at 4 Eastern. Much more coming up on Canty and Carlin. Martin Truex Jr. won today's NASCAR Cup Series race at New Hampshire.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You can see us live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel.
Sometimes you can see behind-the-scenes things that you're not supposed to see because you hit a button and it doesn't work.
Subscribing to the channel, get you into the chat with us. Your thoughts on what we're talking about. Bill Buttigieg in the comments, the New England Patriots fan, he's trying to throw shade on Jeremy's Jets already because Jets don't jet.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a great time to be alive.
Your Jets are on Hard Knocks, which we haven't talked with you about yet, but we all knew that was going to happen.
That was the worst kept secret on the planet because, of course, they were. It was them or the Bears. The Jets had no ability to say no. One of them has Aaron Rodgers. Yep. Believe that's the call. Hey, HBO execs. Good call.
Right. I love all this. Aaron Rodgers, not too happy. So what? You're on Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
the cameras are going to be around. Did you think there weren't going to be as many cameras around this year? That is going to be the most anticipated, I think, training camp, preseason, start of the season. This might be it's definitely obviously the biggest since Tom Brady went to Tampa.
I would say so, yeah.
I would say for the AFC, this has got to be more interest than ever, probably, on a quarterback who's changed teams. I can't think of one.
I mean, I'd be going back to Montana, but that was 30 years ago.
But did anybody really expect Montana was going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs and make them a Super Bowl contender?
Yes, because that defense was really, really good.
Okay.
And he almost did. I mean, they went to the playoffs.
They went to the playoffs, yeah. And they lost, what, in the championship game?
No.
AFC championship?
I think they lost.
Or did they lose in the second round or something? Anyway. Yeah,
Of which, by the way, if you're telling me that's what I can sign up for right now, that they get beat in the playoffs, I'm in. Let's go.
Well, that's where you're going to be.
Hopefully.
Mean, I feel like this team will make the playoffs.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Bill Buttigieg's got a point. The Jets do love to jet. So I'm putting no carts before any horses.
No doubt. They'll get into the playoffs by the skin of their teeth because pretty much everybody who's not a division winner in the AFC is going to get in by the skin of their teeth. And then we just have to wait and see what happens at that point. I mean, they get favorable matchups. You could possibly make it to the AFC Championship game, but I don't have any thoughts that you're going to be playing in the big one. At least not this year.
Hey, we're relevant. That's all I care about.
That's all he cares about. All he cares about is being relevant. Which brings us to, it's time. It's time to start talking about fantasy football. Don't forget, all the links in the description of the YouTube channel for the ultimate fantasy draft experience with us.
Seeing your fantasy draft, showing you the red carpet experience.
Indeed. Get in on that contest because it's coming down to the time to start picking a winner for all of that.
That will be August 15th. That is the date. I believe that's the date. I've said that, and now I'm kind of sure that's a Saturday. So won't be that date if it is a Saturday.
Right.
Following Monday.
Right. Middle of August is when we are going to set all that up, pick a winner, set the date, all of that for the ultimate fantasy draft weekend. But as you're going into fantasy football, I want to ask you about Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Where are you at with Aaron Rodgers right now? As far as, so you're in a league. How ready are you to pull the trigger on him as your quarterback in your fantasy league? Where are you taking him? Because he's available. In every draft I've been in, every mock draft and every actual draft for a league, he's available. 8th, 9th, 10th rounds. And to me, it's like steal of the draft kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not there.
You're not?
I'm not. I mean, last year he was in a system that he completely knew coming in, and he finished 13th. He was right there with Tom Brady, who, by the way, we did this. Well, I mean, look, here's my problem with Aaron Rodgers, and he kicks off a volatile players list that we're doing here for the next couple of segments talking about fantasy football. I feel like the Jets are going to run a lot, so I have developed a theory with quarterbacks. I don't care how early you have to take one. I really don't care. Because I want either Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts Joe Burrow or Justin Fields? Or Jalen Hurts? I said
Herbert.
Nope.
No
said
Herbert?
what I said.
Okay.
I said what I said.
All right.
Where did Justin Herbert finish last year?
In fantasy?
Yeah.
Among
he was
quarterbacks?
Quarterback.
9.
11.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think they're going to be more high-flying than they were last year. At this point, you need the quarterback that can run. Aaron Rodgers is not going to run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is he a decent fallback? I forgot Lamar Jackson. I knew I was forgetting one of those quarterbacks. But he was hurt last year, so that's why he fell off the radar there.
Mm-hmm.
I want one of those top 6 guys, and I don't care what it costs. If I have to take Josh Allen or Mahomes in the second round, so be it. So be it. And if you...
Is the point differential that great?
Okay. Name any quarterback that you think fell outside of the top 10.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins was 7.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That kind of surprises me.
All right, we'll go Aaron Rodgers because that's the name you said.
Okay.
He scored, and this is standard ESPN scoring fantasy football leagues. He scored 251 points last year.
Okay.
How many do you think Patrick Mahomes scored?
340.
If you added 100 to that, you'd be close.
Really?
428.
428. Wow.
Yeah. So, yes. The answer to that is a resounding, aggressive yes.
It is worth reaching up. Or not necessarily reaching up, but it's worth being first in line.
Last year, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes were worth no less than 4 extra points a week than any other quarterback you could have had. On average. There were bad weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at again. And I feel that way. I'm putting Lamar Jackson in that too. Because here's the thing. Everybody's making a big to-do. Lamar Jackson is the one that I'm looking at the way you're looking at Aaron Rodgers. Him and Justin Fields both. You do understand that now they both have receivers where they didn't before?
Mm-hmm.
They were good last year. Both averaged over 20 points a game last year.
Mm-hmm.
And now you actually have somebody to throw to. I'm not sitting here telling you that they're prodigious throwers of the football, but they're really good running.
Mm-hmm.
Really good running.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a weapon that you didn't have before. And for me, once you get past the guys that I've already talked about, at this point, you're just like playing the lottery. Yeah, Kirk Cousins could be great again. Yeah, he could, or he could be awful, which is what I more lean to.
I just can't get there. I just don't see how Kirk Cousins is going to be that bad.
Is the receiving core better or worse than it was last year?
I don't think it's worse. I don't think it's necessarily better. I think they kind of stood pat.
Is the running game better or worse?
Well, it's going to be worse.
There you go. I have no fear of Alexander Madison. Sorry, I don't. So I'm just looking at him going, your floor is, or your ceiling to me is what you did last year,
mm-hmm.
which is roughly 18 points a game. Yeah, there's about 20 quarterbacks in the NFL that can do that. Year in, year out. So I want to get one early.
Yep.
Because this is a year that I feel I've always been the tight end guy. Go get Kelsey, go get Kittle, Mark Andrews. This year, I don't necessarily feel that way. Don't necessarily feel like that's what you have to do.
Interesting.
Because there are a slew of guys that I like a whole mess.
Well, the Mullet Man and the Canadan Fantasy Draft Guide is going to be coming out at the end of the month.
It will be out 2 weeks from today.
There you go.
Oh, wait a minute. July. Yeah, we're good. Sorry, I forgot what month it was for a minute. There's 31 days in July. There's not 31 in June, and I forgot what month it was.
Okay. So, yeah, it'll be coming out.
You get locked in a room by yourself for a week, you start questioning all kinds of things, all right?
Right. Stephen Tao in the YouTube comment says Madison might be an upgrade. Dalvin got stopped at the line for no gain or a loss of yards 24% of his carries last year with Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And he
also hit home runs that Alexander Madison does not have in the wheelhouse. Alexander Madison, to me, and Deontay Foreman are the exact same player. Yeah, and you want to talk about a player that they're fine. They'll have some good weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, to me, neither one of them is a starter in the NFL.
The question is the drop-off from Dalvin to Alexander Madison so great that the defense has to completely change the game plan? And I don't know that is.
I do. Dalvin Cook is a top what running back in the NFL? 10?
10.
Alexander Madison is a top what running back in the NFL?
fair. I mean, 30.
I was about to say, if you say a number that's lower than 40, I'm going to need you to explain it to me.
I would say, I mean, he had his moments, like when Dalvin got injured a couple of years ago. He came in and he was pretty good.
For 4 games. How many times do you have to see this with running backs where they're good spot fillers and then they come in as the guy and they're bad? It's a completely different workload.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nobody to help him. Kenny Nwangwu.
Tyler Chandler.
Or
is this Ty
Chandler?
Ty Chandler. Yeah. He's a Carolina guy. Sorry for
You
messing up his name.
Yeah, we are affiliates of the Tar Heels.
I mean, I got the Ty part right.
Yeah, you didn't call him David, so
That's
gotta give
true.
you that.
That's true. Yeah, I get it. They're at the point with Dalvin Cook where they were done. They weren't going to pay him. Go see what you can get on the open market. Now we're finding out that's not necessarily going to happen. I mean, somebody will pick him up.
Yeah.
Miami will pick him up. Are you hearing different now?
Maybe.
What's the new? The Jets? The new name that you're hearing?
They're not new. I've been saying this forever. I didn't necessarily want it, but here we are. Miami's not coming off more money, and may be a
speaking of
team,
fantasy football, that'd be terrible. The Jets getting Dalvin Cook would be terrible. To me, I mean, it would work on the football field, no doubt, because now I've just got weapons galore, and I can just trot those out there. But for fantasy football purposes, like you're expecting, right, you're coming into this year expecting Breece Hall is going to be the one with New York.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Carter's an afterthought now. It feels like.
If Dalvin Cook signs.
All right, especially if Dalvin Cook signs. Mm-hmm. Now you've turned that from something that I want a piece of in fantasy football.
You should still want a piece of it.
To something
the New York
Jets
are telling you exactly what this team is going to be. You just have to listen. Everybody is looking at this going, oh, with Aaron Rodgers, they're going to come out and throw it all over the place. Really? Then why are they so interested in Dalvin Cook? Why do they not want to come off Corey Davis? They could get out of Corey Davis's contract right now for $0. They don't want to do it. Why?
He's too valuable of a blocker.
And Alan Lazard is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize that now the top 3 receivers, 2 of them are 2 of the 5 best blockers in the league. That team's going to run a lot. They're going to play really good defense, and they're going to run the ball. That's the reason I was so out when you said that about Rodgers. To me, he falls into a category with a slew of other guys. I would rather take the shot on Deshaun Watson in a team that I know definitively is going to run the ball 1 billion times. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's one of those to me that I don't know what to do with Deshaun Watson. And when it comes to fantasy football drafts, I'm just not sure where I'm ready to invest in him. I'm definitely not investing in him as my number 1 quarterback.
I don't know why. I think to me, he is my league mates decided that quarterback was even more valuable than it was. All 6 of the names I've said go in the first 40 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to sit back and leverage you with Deshaun Watson, because I'll take him later. But there's a theory to that I've developed. I call it the Mullet Man theory.
Yeah.
It will be in the Mullet Man and the Canada Fantasy Draft Kit.
Okay. All right. I'm playing not DeAndre Hopkins. I'm playing Deshaun Watson chicken right now. I'm just going to there will be a point, right? We talk about this every fantasy football year. There is a point where even if you don't like the guy, where you have to take him, right? The numbers just make too much sense. But I'm going to wait it out, and I'll probably end up losing him. But I feel like I can get the next guy in line. Who is the next guy in line after DeAndre Hopkins? Deshaun Watson on the quarterback list.
I mean, every mock I've done, I'm getting Deshaun Watson in like the 9th round, which I am perfectly fine with. Absolutely perfectly fine with.
Like Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I'll pass.
You'll pass on Dak Prescott?
I'll pass. To me, with Dak, you
I
either
feel
have
like he's going to have a good year.
To me, you have to either believe in Dak or you have to believe in Tony Pollard. I do not see a world, because defense is too good. And that's one of the things you have to think about with fantasy football is the Jets are a perfect example. Why am I not in on Aaron Rodgers? Because you're not going to throw the ball 40 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, if I'm looking at a quarterback, I want your defense to be either – it can be good. It can't be great.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you run the ball really well. Yeah.
Right.
I want you to – I would really like your defense to be awful. Not everybody has that.
Right.
Not everybody has that. Hey, we're going to get in a track meet. Justin Fields. Sorry. So I don't know what I've got. The smoke outside's getting to me. I just have to state this for the record. As anybody that has listened to this show, whether it was on YouTube, whether it was on terrestrial radio, as probably the biggest Justin Fields detractor on the planet Earth, there will be no single human that you have ever met in your life that is more invested in one player than I am going to be in Justin Fields. I may buy his jersey just to wear it on Sundays because I have more vested interest in my fantasy teams than I do in the Jets.
Right. Which I don't feel like is possible this year. You're about to take that turn. You're about to take the turn for your first time in your fantasy football life where the real thing will trump your fantasy team.
Well, okay. And you could very well be right, but here's where I'm at right now. Right now, I am the New York Jets are like they're like a spouse that has just cheated on me and set my car on fire and hit me in the head with a wiffle ball bat and tried to smother me in my sleep. And I still trust it, okay? I am currently looking at this going, I'm going to sleep, but I'm going to sleep with one eye open because I'm afraid that you're going to load up a pillowcase and beat me with bars of soap.
Right.
I've seen this happen. So maybe when we get close to the season, maybe I feel warm and fuzzy about it. Right now, I know I can control my fantasy teams and I cannot control the New York Jets. So I am more invested in one than I am the other.
When your team starts out 3-4, you're gonna be like, oh no, they did it again.
Oh, if they start out 3-4, let me put it this way: we're gonna tell you about a new friend that we have in the adult beverage industry. We'll be telling you about that soon. My consumption of that will go through the roof if we start 3-4.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's alluding to here, but it tells me somebody made some kind of a malt beverage with Fireball in it, and now I can't get that out of my mind.
And here's my question. Will you cop?
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Travis Samago, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. An accident reported on Hendersonville Road near I-40 near Biltmore Village. Not seeing any heavy backups in the area at the moment. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Brevard Road northbound approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum is slow. In the Fairview area, Charlotte Highway near Hollywood Road delays both directions. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
The Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event starts now with limited quantity deals on top business PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Plus, get special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
It pays to listen. Open your free iHeartRadio app and listen to this station to be entered to win $5,000. Each day you come back to listen on the iHeartRadio app is another entry. The more you listen, the more chances you have to win. Download the free iHeartRadio app for access to winning like never before.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Ingalls Markets and iHeartRadio Asheville have declared July Public Safety Appreciation Month. Throughout the month, we'll be recognizing our hard-working public safety officers from Asheville, Waynesville, Weaverville, Canton, and the Sheriff's Department of Haywood County and Buncombe County. Our good friends at Ingalls Markets will be providing a one-time lunch for all, and we'll be making an appearance at each department as well to thank them for their hard work in keeping us safe. July is Public Safety Appreciation Month with Ingalls Markets and iHeartRadio Asheville.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and let's get weird. Jeremy, one of your favorite sayings about the government, how does it go?
Not scariest words in the English language. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I will have a new stand-up coming out very soon, which will be entitled, You're from the Government, and You Need My Help.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that's called a softball and a tease. I threw the softball, and he teased it right out of the park. All right, so obviously...
It'll be about my experience as juror number 13. There's only 12 on a jury, so that's what happens. You don't get a say. You got to sit here.
There's an interesting situation going on right now with the U.S. military and sending out emails with a sensitive type of nature because there's a simple typo that's been happening. According to Johannes Zurbrier, he's a Dutch internet entrepreneur that is contracted to manage the country domain for Mali. Do you know what a country domain is? The country domain is when it ends in not .com, but in the abbreviation of. So, like, if you wanted to go to a website for the UK, it's .uk.
Yes.
All right. So apparently, American military members for a decade have apparently been sending incorrectly emails with some sensitive information regarding military structures and itineraries for generals and things like this. They've been accidentally sending them to Mali because Mali is a .ml, but all military stuff in the U.S. goes to .mil, right? So apparently this guy has been trying to warn the U.S. military for a decade now that you guys are sending us all of these emails incorrectly. And yes, none of it has been classified or deemed classified or whatever. I know there's a big hullabaloo going on about what's classified and what's not classified and who gets to say what's classified and what's not.
Well, as long as it ends in a D instead of an R, then none of it's classified.
Where's my bell?
At Jay Green ESPN, you throw it at me. Let's go.
But this guy's contract's ending this month with Mali. And so he will no longer be running their accounts. And so now he's trying to tell the American military, you got to stop doing this because Mali is an ally of who? Russia.
Oh.
Mali is in bed with Russia And we've been sending them things like information about American military personnel and installations, including base staff lists, medical data, and identity documents. One email contained the travel itinerary for General James McInville, who's the chief of staff for the Army, and told them where he's going to be on his little trip to Indonesia. So obviously this would be stuff that Russia would want to have. And this guy's trying to do us a solid. And I don't know that anybody from the government is listening. Who's shocked?
Oh, I'm not shocked in the I just
but
spent 5 days.
For a decade.
I just spent 5 days with the government. Trust me, I get it. I fully understand. And here's how much Jeremy, really pays attention. It took me 3 minutes of that story before I realized that you weren't talking about recreational drug crimes. So, my story comes from the lovely state of Florida. We have a problem in Florida, and this is the third time that it has happened. But, going back to that whole government thing, they're telling you not to worry because this time will be different than the last two. This comes from Hillsborough County. They have a sinkhole. It is 19 feet deep. It's 19 feet wide.
Pretty big.
It has already eaten 2 houses and killed a man. But this time, we know what we're doing this time, and we will be fine. Why do I not believe that?
Until
36-year-old Jeffrey Bush was consumed by the sinkhole in 2013. He fell into it and was buried, and it took them, I can't see here exactly where they found him. They did eventually find him, but it took quite some time. And so for me, do sinkholes not just scare the heebie-jeebers out of you? There are very few, like, earthquakes. Earthquake doesn't really bother me that much.
Okay.
I mean, we live in a place
where we live?
I guess.
Right.
Hurricanes never really bothered me because a hurricane is not one of those things that just shows up. Like, you're just out on a beach day and all of a sudden it gets cloudy and then all of a sudden,
right.
Get some.
I would be terrified by earthquakes
happen.
if I lived somewhere else.
I probably would too, but I just wouldn't live there. It's like living in Oklahoma. Yes, tornadoes would scare me, but I choose where I'm going to live based on what are the chances that Mother Nature tries to reject my residency. And I'm looking at this going, maybe it's time to move. Hey, you got a sinkhole that's already eaten 2 houses. Maybe I should move. Sinkhole's one of those you're just walking along, live my life, boom, out.
Yeah, it is a terrifying thought.
That's why I've always been a beach guy.
Because you get the warning for the hurricane.
I get like 5 days before Hurricane Holy Jeepers Creepers shows up and
right.
eradicates your residency.
Right.
I got 5 days. If I stay here, that's on me. Mr. Sinkhole gives you about 13 seconds.
And not even that.
And
not even that. You
boop.
just wake up buried under rubble going, what just happened?
I'm out.
Yeah, that is a terrifying thought, but it's also one of those things we can't predict.
Yeah,
we don't know where that's going to happen. And I mean, I get like Merriman Avenue. Like that's the only place that I know where sinkhole has opened up, like massive sinkhole has opened up.
There was one on Tunnel
recently. Road. Was there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was quite sizable.
I don't remember that one. Was that recently?
Right outside of McHale's.
I think I remember hearing about that vaguely, but there again, I mean.
Stephen Tao in our YouTube comments, he said, when I was a kid, TV made me think quicksand was going to be much more of a problem than it is. 100%.
I thought there was just going to be that time where I'd just be walking in the middle of the woods somewhere, and then all of a sudden,
boom, and stuck.
Where's my vine? I need a vine to pull myself out of this, because that's the only way you ever got out of it in the movies.
You know, it's weird. When I was a kid, the movies didn't tell me to be as nearly scared of the government as I should be. And I've learned that was also an error in judgment.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. It is fantasy football season and more early pre-training camp tips. How about that for your fantasy football enjoyment coming up after the break.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have had a day of haze and smoke across the area. This is down from the Canadian wildfires, and it looks like it sticks around here tonight. Temperatures in the mid-60s in the valley, close to 90 tomorrow. I think we'll see some rain come in, try to clean the atmosphere out some Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chance for rain showers, temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, nighttime low temps in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy traffic volume, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows between Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. In Fairview, Charlotte Highway near Hollywood Road, seeing delays both directions. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road, north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound, drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With the Chalupa Supreme Beefy 5-Layer Burrito, Crunchy Taco, Cinnamon Twist, and Medium Drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores. For a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
Get your tickets now
At AXS.com.
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. Experience more of the music you love with the record-setting 5G network. T-Mobile customers can unlock VIP benefits at the festival all weekend long. It's better over here. See why at T-Mobile.com/SEEWHY.
Dr. Conrad, after all night in the lab, I've cracked the formula for black titanium.
Go on.
It's the luxury of black, the power of titanium, the best odds at $300 and a top prize of $4 million, all in this scratch-off.
This is going to be big.
So, am I getting a raise?
Let's see. New black titanium from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The original Tough Man contest hits the ring at Silverado's in Black Mountain July 28th and 29th. See the toughest fighters go toe-to-toe in live action. Tickets are $20 in advance and $30 the day of the show. The original Tough Man competition, July 28th and 29th at Silverado's in Black Mountain. Ringside and VIP tickets are available. Get yours now at silveradoswnc.com. silveradoswnc.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville live from the Ingles studio. Get with us on the YouTube stream to get your thoughts in on the program. Just subscribe to the channel. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscription gets you into the chat. We're talking about fantasy football, as I'm sure if you're a fantasy football player, you have been involved in a draft already, right?
I'm not.
You haven't? You haven't had one league, not even a dynasty league that's already done the rookie draft.
So, Sacred Time, I'm not actually in a dynasty league.
Are you not?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No. And I refuse to do any league that drafts more than, I'll be generous here and say 3 weeks before the season starts. I've had multiple people ask me, hey, you want to get in this league? It's July. No, I don't want to do that. That's way too early.
Right.
Many things could still happen, and I don't need that. Jason Trump said we need a dynasty league for the show.
Absolutely.
I can get down with that. There's 2 of us. We need 10 of you. We will be doing a show league, which we will detail Friday when we give you all the details for the Battle for the Belt, because the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest is how we will also be picking the 10 people that get to play with us in the show league.
Mm-hmm.
And the winners of that will get to come in here, much like Matthew Berry does with his show. Everybody in it gets to come in for one segment, and if you have a cause or anything like that, you can pub all of those things. All of the things. We're here for your enjoyment.
When I build a fantasy football roster, I'm trying to do it with as little volatility as possible.
Which is what we're discussing today, which is volatile players that just scare the heeber-jeebers out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're watching this on the YouTube, you'll see that the player that is on our graphic is one Mr. Derrick Henry, because he scares me to death. I will have him on 0 rosters in any league that I'm in. Okay. I do not care how far he falls. I do not care.
Because of age.
Team, game script. There is literally nothing to me that screams that's going to go the way I want it to go.
What is your expectation? If you're taking DeAndre, or why do I keep saying DeAndre Hopkins?
You have like an obsession with DeAndre Hopkins today.
I don't know why. If I'm taking Derrick Henry, it's because their names all start with D's. Everybody we talked about today, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, now Derrick Henry. But if you're taking Derrick Henry, how high do you have to take him, and what would your expectation be for where you're having to take him?
I almost feel like there's no shot that you're going to get him outside of the top 12.
Okay.
I cannot find a path that's what I'm going to do.
No.
Because there are too many running backs I like better than him. There are too many. I do not subscribe to the belief that I need to be taking receivers in the first round.
No.
Everything I'm seeing is Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, a slew of other guys go in the first round. I'm good.
There are 2 receivers I would take in the first round.
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, and that's it.
And for me, I would only take them in the back end of the first round.
And they're not going there.
No, they're going in the top 5.
They're going in the top 5. Most drafts I have been in so far have been some combination of Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson. 5 of those 6 are going to be in your top 5 in your fantasy draft, more likely than not. There's not another wide receiver in that discussion for me.
And
I'm
really
going
not
running
for
backs. I'm going young running backs, and Derrick Henry's never on my list.
He's not on mine either.
And I agree with you, but after the signing of DeAndre Hopkins, that makes me like him better. That makes me like Derrick Henry better. Not much. Not to where I'm going to jump out and get him in the first round.
I still
but if
feel
you do
like
it, I'm
this
not
team,
laughing.
I still feel like this team's going to be behind a lot. I still feel like this team's not going to be very good throwing the ball. And all of those are things that I can't find a way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very high on Bijan Robinson. I know a lot of people think he is volatile because he's a rookie.
Yes.
He's volatile because Tyler Algier.
Yes.
He's volatile because of Cordero Patterson. And I'm going to say as clearly as I can, I don't care because they can't throw. And if they do throw, I got a quarterback that's not very accurate, which makes me think I'm going to see a lot of what? Oh, yeah, throwing to the running back. Yeah, that guy that they've been putting out at wide receiver. Yeah, to me, he's one of the safest players in fantasy football.
Bijan's been split out at wide receiver for camp?
Yes.
Or for OTAs or whatever they've been going through? Okay.
And has shown he has tremendously good hands.
Sure.
So I don't value him to be super volatile.
Yeah, I do only because of the presence of Tyler Algier, who was a 1,000-yard back last year.
Care.
Because of Cordero Patterson, who
you
was
invested the 8th pick in the draft.
1,000-yard back the year before. I'm not saying he's going to miss out on a whole bunch of workload, but he will miss some carries. He will miss some targets because of those other two.
Okay, name me the running back that doesn't.
What?
Name me a running back that doesn't miss out on carries because there's another back on the team.
But not to this extent.
And I think you're overvaluing that extent.
Maybe.
I used the 8th pick in the draft on one. The other was a 6th round pick.
But also, what am I fighting for? What am I playing for? Do I want to come out and give Bijan Robinson all the tote immediately? No.
I don't agree with you.
Really?
You don't take a running back at 8 to bring them along slowly. I mean, just look at the last handful of guys that went that high. Look at their workload and tell me that you have any fear of Bijan Robinson. Because they have all been flush with tote.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay. I feel like Bijan is a question mark. I mean, he's high on the list, and I'll take him if he's there, available in the first round. You're going 1, number 1 overall. Redraft, dynasty, doesn't matter.
Don't care.
Really?
Who do you feel better about? Christian McCaffrey, who's had a slew of injury issues, and now he's with a team that seems to be cursed by some ancient witchcraft that everybody on the team gets hurt at least one time a year.
You're not wrong, because the one situation I've been faced with that in a mock draft or an actual draft that I've been in, and I had the number 2 pick in the draft, is Bijan Robinson.
There's only one guy that you could actually convince me to take ahead of Bijan Robinson is Nick Chubb. And here's the thing, I don't have to.
Right.
I don't have to with either one of those.
No,
guys.
you can wait till the end of the second or the end of the first round and still have a shot at Nick Chubb.
So as I went through my civic duty, had a lot of free time on my hands. Did a lot of mock drafts. Do you know how many times I came away with Bijan Robinson and Nick Chubb?
A lot of them.
It was a lot.
Really?
And I went, yep, I'm good. That's fine. Sign me up for that as many times as I can do it. I don't care if I take Tank Spencer in the 14th round.
Yeah.
I feel pretty solid about what I've done here.
I hope everybody feels like Bijan Robinson is a question mark, as I do, because I'm going to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm at the back end of the first round and he's still on the board, there's no chance he's making it past me.
Okay, so I've already said that Derrick Henry's the one that scares me to death.
Yes.
Who scares you?
Just running back wise, or
well, no,
just all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's Najee Harris. I feel like he's one that
I would wager if you broke down, and I play in a lot of fantasy football leagues. I will bet you I have him in 70% of the leagues I'm in, if not more, because of how far down he is going.
Oh, absolutely. I look at him as a value because you can get him 3rd, 4th round.
Which is, to me, is absolutely the most laughably stupid thing I've ever seen. The only way I don't end up with him is if I play that game of how long can I wait until one of you does this?
Yeah.
It's the only way. Because the line is vastly improved. The weapons are better.
Is it vastly improved on the offensive line?
Is Dan Moore playing left tackle?
No.
There you go. That's all I need.
So that's all I need. Okay.
He's a serviceable offensive lineman in this league. He is not a left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he lined up there. I don't care. I do not care where he lined up in OTAs. Broderick Jones will be on the left side of the line shortly enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they are absolutely going to be able to run the ball down your throat. Because we forget how good he is. That line was awful. And teams routinely looked at Kenny Pickett and said, you're going to have to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that he can't. I'm not sure that if you put the onus on him to beat you, I think he can do it. I don't feel that way about Desmond Ridder. I feel like you can just send the hellhounds after him and he can't beat you deep. Kenny Pickett can.
Yeah. So there's no volatility for you with Najee Harris.
Not where I'm getting him.
Okay.
If I have to take him in the 2nd round, then okay. Now I've got a little bit of that adjective that we were talking about.
Right.
But who would you, if you had to draft it right now, who would you rather have, Najee Harris or Breece Hall?
Najee, I believe.
There you go. Because there's a possibility that Dalvin Cook comes along and that's
the thing that scares me about Breece.
I have no fear of his talent. I have a lot of fear about what exactly is this going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's not Dalvin Cook, could be Zonovan Knight, could be Michael Carter, could be a slew of guys. Or they could just use them all.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've talked a lot about bringing him along slowly off the knee injury.
Yeah, and that'd make a lot of sense. But it's weird to me that you would be off of Breece or taken off of Breece Hall a bit because of Dalvin, but you won't be off of Bijan because of Tyler.
That's okay. Let me see if I can equate what you just said to me. That's like you saying I'm worried about cirrhosis of the liver because I drink every day, but I'm not worried about my hair falling out. Because one of them really matters, and one of them doesn't matter in the least. Comparing Dalvin Cook and Tyler Algier is kind of, to me, that would be like comparing a Bentley to a Pinto.
But we're not talking about talent. We're talking about the scheme that they're going to be in and the workload that they're going to get.
Which team runs more? Atlanta, and it won't be close.
Yeah.
There's plenty of carries to go around. Oh, and by the way, Tyler Algier's not all that good. Oh, he had 1,000 yards last year. Yeah, and a lot of other guys have had 1,000 yards too that couldn't play dead in a cowboy movie. So I am not really all that worried about. And look, I think he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're just worrying. To me, you're worrying too much about it.
Okay. Worrying too much about it.
And Dalvin Cook's still a premier running back in this league. Tyler Algier is not and never has been and never will be. He is a serviceable rotational back. Yeah. That is it.
Okay.
He has none of the high-end traits that Dalvin Cook does. Plus, he's I hate to keep harping on this, he was a 6th-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
How many 6th-round running backs? Peyton Hillis have been really good one time.
Have had a year.
Away they go.
Okay. Who's next on your volatility list?
Stephen Tao just said it in the comments because I can't figure out what to do with him. It's Aaron Jones. I believe in the talent. There are 2 huge things that scare me to death with him. Jordan Love is numero uno, and 2 is A.J. Dillon, because I think he is a really good running back, and at some point, he is really going to eat into him, and I'm afraid it's this year.
They're going to have to run the ball, though. This is going to have to be a scenario where...
See, and this is one of those times that I view this much differently than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're going to have to try to run the ball. How great do you feel about that line right now?
I think it's fine.
That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I think they're fine.
How many guys on the outside of that team legit scare you? Are you really worried about Christian Watson beating you over the top?
Not at all.
Are you really worried about Romeo Doubs beating you over the top?
Mm-mm.
With Jordan Love as his quarterback?
No.
Okay, that means you're going to get an extra guy in the box, which means it is a fool's errand to expect a guy playing in the same system behind virtually the same offensive line with a drastically inferior quarterback to be as good as he has been in the past. That doesn't make any sense. I can't make my brain get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the talent immensely. I think now he has been put in a horrid situation. And I could be wrong, but I'm not going to bet on it.
Right. I come down on Cooper Kupp as a guy who I don't want him. I'm seeing him being drafted right after Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson in these drafts. Like in the first round, he's 7 to 9. I don't know that I've been in a mock draft that he hasn't been taken in that realm. I've seen him go as high as 6. To me, that's insane. I get he's the only option with Matt Stafford, but do you expect that team's going to be really good this year? Do you expect that
they weren't good last year?
It's just going to be fine? That they'll pick up after last year and everything will be hunky-dunky and he'll be back to Triple Crown winner?
Would you like to hear the list of receivers that scored more points per game last year than Cooper Kupp in PPR leagues?
Yes.
Would you like to hear it again?
That was it. He was
in the
number
message,
1.
Repeat the line. Oh, and that team was absolutely god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's changed.
Okay.
I mean,
except for your quarterback gotten older. And
last year your quarterback was holding a clipboard. So
he's hurt. I don't know what he's going to be like when he gets on the field.
I don't care because this is a slot receiver. This is like, to me, this is like it's like a running back. Oh, well, the quarterback's awful. Okay, well, they're going to throw it to somebody. So you can't throw it deep because let's say Stafford gets hurt and they're to a backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not mean that? Does that not mean that Cooper Kupp's going to get just inundated with targets? There's nobody else.
Yeah, maybe. It would stand to reason. Sure.
Bad quarterback play, to me, props up running backs and slot receivers. And at times tight ends. Depends on who the tight end is. it takes away from high-end outside receivers. But I don't worry about that with Cooper Kupp at all. I don't particularly want to take him that high.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is more a fear of there is just absolutely nothing else on that team that I have to deal with, so I could triple him. And I am not scared of anything else here. But even then, I think he's going to do what he's done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He'll catch 10 passes for 78 yards. And if I get lucky, he falls in the end zone.
Yep.
That makes him worth a first-round pick. I don't want to take him in the top 5, but which I'm seeing more than I'm seeing more receivers go higher this year than I've ever seen before.
Right.
And you know my rule in fantasy football. I'm going to do the exact opposite of whatever you do. You stop taking tight ends in the first 2 rounds? Cool, I'll have Travis Kelce in every league I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't take quarterbacks early? Cool, I'll have Pat Mahomes in every league I'm in. You want to take receivers high? Cool, I'll take them late. And that's where I'm at. I feel like now there are more receivers than there have ever been. And once you get outside of the top 5, there's not a huge difference.
Right. I don't see the need to go for the top echelon of wide receivers. I'm going to load up at running back, and I'm going to take my chances with the wide receivers later in the draft. Because there are a lot of them. They come out of nowhere every year. And I feel like that's the path to righteousness for me. At least early in this drafting season.
Well, you had 3 that averaged over 20 points a game last year. That was it. It was Kupp, Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. Between 19 and 14, you had over 20. So there's not a huge difference from the highest of high side. Once you get outside of those guys, then there's a lot that are in the same trajectory.
Yep. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Coming up after the Sports Center update, top of the hour, it'll be daily draft time. Jeremy and I are going to be drafting the fantasy football players to avoid.
The ones that scare the heber-jeebers out of
us. We'll be drafting those, as well as continuing the off-season files for this 2023 NFL season. We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams to get to up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic time ago, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, 26 eastbound slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. In the Fairview area, Charlotte Highway near Hollywood Road, seeing delays both directions. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, no backups. Sweeten Creek Road, moving problem-free. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound, drive time 24 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion? Never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
I just discovered the best back-to-school hack, shopping at Kohl's. With the extra 15% off right now, I found new school style for old school prices, like tees for under $7 that'll be so perfect for both recess and weekend fun. Then I picked up a few statement pieces, including a cool backpack that my son is so excited about. And up next, the best school year yet. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end July 23rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
The Rod Ryan Show.
It's The Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the Morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival, yeah!
All All of the best free curated playlists.
The best bands.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
The stuff they don't want you to know.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome. All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Careless debris burning is the leading cause of wildfires in North Carolina. Remember to keep your burn pile small, not tall, and never burn on dry, windy days or leave your fire unattended. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov. You are the best defense against wildfires.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have had a day of haze and smoke across the area. This is down from the Canadian wildfires, and it looks like it sticks around here tonight. Temperatures in the mid-60s in the valley, close to 90 tomorrow. I think we'll see some rain come in, try to clean the atmosphere out some Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chance for rain showers, temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, nighttime low temps in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Big deals on better sleep are here early. It's Black Friday now at Mattress Firm. Save up to $600 and score a free adjustable base on qualifying purchases. See a Mattress Firm sleep expert today to find your perfect bed and get 120 nights to make sure it's right.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If your business is feeling a summer hiring wave, then you need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking NFL news, it is what it is. That reaction from Giants running back Saquon Barkley on Twitter after he and the team were unable to agree on a long-term contract by today's deadline. Two other franchise-tagged running backs unable to reach long-term deals as well. Josh Jacobs of the Raiders and Tony Pollard of the Cowboys. Barkley and Jacobs not expected to report to training camp. Could Barkley, such a big part of New York's offense last season, miss actual games? ESPN NFL analyst Mina Kimes.
I also suspect New York is skeptical that Barkley will actually hold out and miss games purely because there are so few examples in recent NFL history of players doing that, not just at the running back position, but especially at the running back position with any success.
Pollard previously signed his tag and will play this year for $10 million. Martin Truex Jr. won the NASCAR Cup Series race at New Hampshire. Joey Logano finished second. Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, and Brad Keselowski round out the top five. Rays ace Shane McClanahan returns from a back issue tonight against the Rangers.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy live in the Ingles studio. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Top of the third hour of the program, it's always the daily draft. Jeremy, since you have been gone for it seems much longer because I was gone the week before you were gone.
I was about to say, it could not possibly feel any longer to you than it did to me.
Well, Doug, it feels like I haven't seen you in a month. So I'm glad that we could reconvene here and bring the best damn sports show in Beer City to you on this here day, live from the Ingles studio. But you gotta have the first pick. You got to have the first pick today as we're doing your do not draft lists.
And for
Who's
me,
on your list? Who are you not touching in fantasy football this year?
For me, that falls directly to Derrick Henry. That's going to be the first one on my list because I don't understand how DeAndre Hopkins is supposed to make me feel so much warmer and fuzzier about this than I did before.
Yeah, he loosens up the box.
I'm not saying he's not going to help, but you know how I feel about older running backs.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I feel about teams that are going to be behind all the time. And I just don't really believe in this team. And so I fall into, with Derrick Henry, I don't think he can possibly live up to it. And there's too many running backs that I like as much, if not better. And look, I've been calling for the Derrick Henry fall off for 3. This is year 3.
Yes.
And it's been much more inconsistent over the last 2 years than it was in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't got there yet, but I think
it's coming.
I think this is when it happens. And I don't really see a way that it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Just time's going to catch up with him, and that's what's going to do him in.
I mean, we've talked.
Tread on the tires is very thin. He's been used unlike, Christian McCaffrey-esque usage by the Tennessee Titans for the last few years.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if it doesn't fall off the tracks for Derrick Henry this year, I need to start using him as he's the exception to my rule about touches and carries and age.
Yep.
Plus, the offensive line is just bad.
Time waits for no man. Time waits for no man, and Derrick Henry, he is on his last legs as a star running back in fantasy football. Father Time is undefeated, as they say. My number one is going to be Cooper Kupp. It's because I'm never going to take him. I'm never going to take him where you have to take him in a draft. Like I said in the last hour, I'm seeing him in all the mock drafts I've been in so far go between 6 or let's say 5 and 8 or 9 in the first round. I'm not doing that. I get that he gets a lot of touches and there's nobody there to compete for targets with him.
Nope.
But I also feel like that's a recipe for disaster.
I think the competing for targets is why it doesn't really scare me. Because I don't know who else you're supposed to throw it to. I mean, is Tyler Higbee going to eat into that much of or Hunter Long?
Well, see, it worries me more when I think about the opportunity. With as many touches as he's going to have, the opportunity for injury goes up. And how old is he? 29?
How old is Cooper Kupp? He is 30.
He's 30. There you go. Wow. Everybody talking about 30-year-old wide receivers, they just die. Okay, y'all are forgetting that with Cooper Kupp just because you don't think he's been around that long? It's because we didn't know who he was for the first 3 years of his NFL career, right? Didn't he? He was one of those that came in as an older gent.
Oh, I think he played 5 years in college.
Yeah,
or he was in college for 5 years.
And then he floundered around for the first 2 years of his career, and then he starts putting up numbers. And
I mean, he had almost 1,000 yards as a rookie, so I'm going to say, yeah.
Maybe I just
2017 was his first year. He didn't start that many games, and he's really only had the 1 year was a bit of an outlier because he has not had production like that. He's also had some injury issues. So I'm not going to say I don't get it. I just genuinely think that Rams team is horror awful.
I'm seeing him in mock drafts and actual drafts going ahead of Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, that whole crew. And to me, he's behind all of them.
I get it.
So there won't be a scenario where I have Cooper Kupp on my team.
I'm not sure how much I will have him, just solely because I don't take a receiver that high. But for me, it's not because I have an aversion to him. I more have an aversion to taking receivers that high.
It's not personal. It's business.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Exactly. So Cooper Kupp, he's my first that I will stay away from because there's no shot I'm drafting him that high in the first round.
And then
it's a Dolphins receiver, but I don't know which one. I'm thinking Tyreek Hill.
You can have them both.
I'm thinking Tyreek Hill is the one. One of these receivers is going to have a hell of a year. As long as Tua stays healthy and all of that, and I know how big of a question mark that is. I just don't feel like you're going to get what you wanted out of this if you take Tyreek Hill at middle of the second round.
And for me, Tyreek Hill's probably the first one that I would feel good about taking. Because I don't
According to you like to use the fantasyfootballcalculator.com /ADP. That shows you over many services where these guys are being taken. With the number one pick in the second round, that's where Tyreek Hill's average draft position comes in at the moment.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
The rent is too damn high for me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I could care less. If you tell me I can get Tyreek Hill in the second round, sign up for it right now.
Okay. So you got that last pick in a 12-man draft at the end of the first round. You're going with Tony Pollard as your running back? Or
probably not the one I would take, but
Breece Hall, Nick Chubb.
He's fine.
I'm trying to think of running backs that are in that realm of back end of the first round. And then you'll follow that up with Tyreek Hill. I'm just not doing it because I'm taking running backs. Y'all are focusing on the wrong things, in my opinion. You're focusing on wide receivers, and I feel like as volatile as the running back market is, you got to focus on running backs early. And I don't see a path where you're going to have two elite fantasy receivers for that team. As much as you want to get out of a early second-round pick, late second-round pick.
Well, and I guess my question on what you just said is, okay, how much more hurt do you think Tua can be than he was last year? Because last year, in terms of points per game, Tyreek Hill was 3. Jalen Waddle was roughly 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14.
Okay.
That's 2 in the top 14, and I don't know that you're going to see any less of a – I'll just take the risk.
It's too much of a risk for me.
It's not for me. Now, there was
But I would say if I had to choose, I'm not drafting Tyreek Hill, and I'll wait to see if I can get Waddle later.
I gave you both Dolphins receivers because you'll have to take Jalen Waddle in the first 3 rounds. And
Yeah.
You said that way, and I'm going to hold you to
Absolutely.
that. Because I think that's going to age like milk. I gave you 2 shots. Because for me, there is and I did this on purpose. All right, so when we play the daily draft, one of the things we always talk about, you have to know your opponent. Well, I know Mr. Spencer quite well. And he doesn't let anything die. When he believes something, he sticks with it forever. My second pick is Jonathan Taylor, and I cannot believe you didn't take him with one of your first 2.
Oh, I'm going after him. I'm taking him.
I think that might be the most delusional thing you've ever seen.
Really?
All right, so make this make sense to me. He was not good last year.
Correct.
Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I could argue at quarterback he is now worse than he was last year.
I don't think it can get worse than last year.
Okay, I had a feeling you were going to say that. Do I now have a quarterback that is going to take carries from him? Yes or no?
Yes.
How in the world is he supposed to get better? There is nobody to take the top off. Even Michael Pittman, who I am hammered on. He's not a particularly sudden feller. And I'm just looking at this going, I don't know how you're supposed to run. The line's not great.
They weren't great last year.
And he
wasn't. They've been great.
And that's fine. And he wasn't. He wasn't great last year.
Because the line wasn't great.
And now the same 5 guys, I'm supposed to think that's markedly better with a rookie quarterback.
They had some injury issues last year.
So you had Matt Ryan last year, who, yes, he is as athletic as a roll of used toilet paper.
Yep.
And now you have a more athletic quarterback. You don't have as cerebral of a quarterback. I don't care what you think about Anthony Richardson.
You're absolutely
He's
right.
not a 16, 17-year vet in the NFL that's going to get all of these protections lined up correctly. You're going to be behind a lot because that defense is not good. And you're telling me Jonathan Taylor's all of a sudden going to be this pass-catching PPR monster from, oh, by the way, a quarterback that didn't throw it to running backs? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And you're talking about the rent being too high? The rent on Jonathan Taylor is entirely too high to me. Where would you take him right now? I told you. I said
second round. Start of the second round.
Well, his current ADP is 10.
There's a chance I can get him. There's a chance I can get him at the turn.
Okay. Fun game. I'm going to say a name. You tell me if you would take this individual or Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Josh Jacobs.
Jonathan Taylor.
You were on recreational crimes because I didn't even think that one was hard. I thought that was like a baseline. Okay, let's go higher. And now I'm going to mock you if your answer is not what I think it should be. Nick Chubb.
No, it's Nick.
Okay. All right. So we figured out where the line of crimes is, and it's at completely out of your mind.
Obviously, this goes into the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, I'm out. Because I don't know that he's going to be any better than he was last year. Now you add some contract.
Well, he was the
turmoil
number one
in
running
there.
back in fantasy football last year.
Right.
So I don't necessarily need him to be that good.
No.
I don't see
But I don't see a possibility that he is.
I don't see a way that he's drastically worse. Who's supposed to take carries from him? Zamir White? Yeah, nope. I don't believe it. Not even a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Tony Pollard.
Yeah, it's Tony.
Okay. You were maddeningly inconsistent. Derrick Henry.
It's close. That's a coin flip for me.
For me, it would be my nightmare is that I get to 12 and the 2 best running backs left are Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. And I just go, here, take my money. I got by the draft order here. All right, I'll do one more just because I'm trying to place exactly where you are here.
Okay.
Breece Hall.
That's a Breece. Unless the Dalvin thing happens.
So you have to do it right now, and you know that's a possibility. You would still take Breece Hall ahead of him.
No, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. I would take literally every person I just said ahead of Jonathan Taylor and wouldn't think about it twice. Because you're going to lose a ton of carries to Anthony Richardson. And just think about it this way. To me, and this is in my head how I'm rationaling what you're going to get out of Anthony Richardson. What was Justin Fields last year? Was David Montgomery particularly good last year? No.
No.
Was Khalil Herbert good last year? At times, but it wasn't consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonathan Taylor's more talented than either of the two of them. But I also could see Fields didn't turn the ball over an insane amount. I could see Anthony Richardson turning it over an insane amount. Then you're behind, and then you have to throw, and I'm good.
Okay.
I can't find a way that I'm going to do it.
I feel like with Shane Steichen running that offense, there are possibilities there for more running lanes for Jonathan Taylor. Dump off work could be significant because if we're going to have to pass the ball, I don't know that I want Anthony taking those shots down the field.
And I get that, but you're going to have to completely change his mindset as a quarterback, and you're going to have to – Shane Steichen is going to have to believe way more in Jonathan Taylor's ability to catch passes than anybody else ever has.
Mm-hmm.
And that's too many hypotheticals for me. I can't do it where you have to do it with him.
Okay, so you're staying away from JT.
Yes.
We'll take a quick break, as Jeremy planned it. Come back from the break. He'll give us his third pick of the draft. The do not draft list for fantasy football in 2023. Daily Draft continues next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound is slowing approaching Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road, light delays near Avery Creek. Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, slow. Check of the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville. 540 westbound and 240 westbound, drive time 15 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
Kane Brown,
Lil Wayne,
Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott,
Tim McGraw,
TLC,
30 Seconds to Mars.
Get your tickets now.
For 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
AXS.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Dr. Conrad, after all night in the lab, I've cracked the formula for black titanium.
Go on.
It's the luxury of black, the power of titanium, the best odds at $300 and a top prize of $4 million, all in this scratch-off.
This is going to be big.
So, am I getting a raise?
Let's see. New Black Titanium from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.14. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The original Tough Man contest hits the ring at Silverado's in Black Mountain July 28th and 29th. See the toughest fighters go toe-to-toe in live action. Tickets are $20 in advance and $30 the day of the show. The original Tough Man competition, July 28th and 29th at Silverado's in Black Mountain. Ringside and VIP tickets are available. Get yours now at silveradoswnc.com. silveradoswnc.com.
At Ingalls, we know your closest companions are the ones who are always there for you. The ones you trust to have your back, no matter what. Who make the hard times a little softer, and the good ones, somehow, a little better. That's what family is all about, whether they walk on 2 legs or 4. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Yeah, the NFL season, it's right around the corner. Fantasy football season has arrived.
We've gotten out of the doldrums. Camp opens in less than a month.
Yes.
We're here. We've made it.
When does camp open?
Oh, in like a week.
I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
You said less than a month. I was thinking, it's like next week.
Honestly, because I saw training camp on my screen. What I was trying to say is the first preseason game is less than a month away.
There you go.
And I got confused because, I've been gone for what feels like forever.
Was that August 18th? Something like that?
No. August 3rd.
August 3rd?
Is the Hall of Fame game.
Okay. There you go.
Jets and Browns.
Ah. I'm surprised you don't have a countdown on your app or whatever.
I mean, it's the preseason. Look, the preseason. It's like it's like your little flappetizer. All right, it comes out. It's lovely. It's fine. It's your queso.
But it's the Hall of Fame game. It's your chance to see your boyfriend Aaron Rodgers play a series.
If that. Aaron Rodgers will put on a helmet and go, I believe that was enough for me.
As you're getting ready for your fantasy football, it's coming up quick. All right, training camps are just days away, and the preseason action, it begins in just a couple of weeks. So fantasy football is ramping up, and we're talking about the players on your do not draft list. So far, Jeremy's got King Henry and Jonathan Taylor. I've got Cooper Kupp and the Miami wide receivers.
And now I'm going to say one that might catch you a little off guard coming out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's Garrett Wilson.
Really?
Do you know where he's going right now?
Where?
Right now, he is the 10th receiver. He is 21st overall. That
seems
is crazy to me. Look, I think he's a phenomenal talent. I think he's a top 10 receiver in this league. I've said that. I don't know that he will statistically be a top 10 receiver in this league because I just don't. I struggle to believe that just because Aaron Rodgers has shown up, that now Robert Saleh is going to be completely different than who he has been for the 2 years as Jets head coach. Anytime this team throws more than 35 times in a game, bad things happen. Now, that was with much different quarterback play. That was with a much different defense. That was with a much different running game. I get it. I'm looking at the Dalvin Cook thing. I'm looking at the Breece Hall thing going, you're going to run more than people think. You're going to tell Aaron, don't make boo-boos. You don't have to be MVP, Aaron. We don't need you to be that.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to be captain consistency and have one of those I threw 4 interceptions all year type seasons.
Right.
And I just don't know that can sustain Garrett Wilson going that high. I think he's going to be a phenomenal talent. And this could be a crazy breakout year. I'm just not sure I can get from where he was last year to now. I mean, he's going ahead of guys like Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. And I'm DK Metcalf. I'm not
just
there.
Can't get there.
I'm just not there.
Mm-hmm. That is very surprising to me.
That I would say it or that he's that high?
That you would say that he is on your do not draft list.
Only because he's going too high. And if I can catch him in the 4th round, then now we can talk.
Sure.
I also struggle to believe that he's going to be my number 1 receiver. And where he's at, he almost has to be.
Okay. Garrett Wilson, number 3 for Jeremy Green. My number 3 do not draft list. And again, I'll just point out this is not that we hate these players or we think they're going to be trash. They're just too high. The rent is too damn high on these players. Now, if you go over to Jeremy's favorite ADP calculator, the fantasy football calculator.
Which is funny. I finally got you on that, and I'm using Fantasy Pros.
Which is the one I used to use, and he told me, no, you got to use this one now. Where does your sheet that you're looking at now, where does Fantasy Pros have Jahmyr Gibbs?
37.
37 overall. So 3rd round?
Yes. Well, beginning of 4th.
Fantasy Football Calculator has him in the 10th round, which is dumb.
And that's why I don't use that right now.
Okay.
I wait because it takes the one you're using takes a combination of things that have happened in the last 30 days. The problem is that those are almost all redraft, and those get thrown out, and it skews the numbers.
It skews the numbers.
If you look at our chat, Jahmyr Gibbs might go in the first round. So
Well, and see, that's where I was headed with this, was that Jahmyr Gibbs is on my do not draft list because the rent is going to be too damn high. Look, I'm going to say the same thing about Jahmyr Gibbs that you keep telling me about Kyle Trask. They went and got another guy for a reason.
Oh, God, please tell me you're not talking about David Montgomery.
Absolutely, I'm talking about David Montgomery. If I'm having to draft Jahmyr Gibbs in the top 3 rounds of the draft, David Montgomery is going to take work away from him. They signed him to a 2-year deal for a reason. He's going to be around for a while.
That none of the money in the second.
He's going to get all those vulture carries that Jamal Williams got with DeAndre Swift.
God, we couldn't see this any more different if we tried.
Really?
Which did they do first? Did they sign David Montgomery first, or did they draft Jahmyr Gibbs first?
They signed David Montgomery first.
There you go. Yeah, you're worrying way too much about David Montgomery.
Okay.
I couldn't care less about him if I tried.
So you feel happy to get him in the 3rd round of a draft?
Oh, yeah. If you tell me my top 2 running backs were Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson, cool. Let's go. Saddle up, ride. Let's go.
No, thank you. Again, the rent is too damn high.
Oh, yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm perfectly fine. And I'll be 100% honest with you, I might take him higher than his ADP has him going right now.
Why? If it's not a dynasty, you're doing it wrong.
Okay, ask yourself this. Who would you rather have, Kenny Walker or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Kenny Walker.
I'm not even – again, second time we've done that. Second time I thought I was giving you one that was really easy and not so much. Yeah, for me, that's not even close.
Okay.
Kenny Walker's 2 full rounds behind Jahmyr Gibbs to me.
Okay.
Can't catch. They drafted Zach Carbonet in the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there is one time that you can really look at where somebody's drafted, and it tells you everything you need to know. Jahmyr Gibbs went at 12. Seattle took a running back in the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you that you're going to get a committee in Seattle, and it doesn't matter how good the guy is. People get lost in that in fantasy football. Oh, Kenny Walker's such a great player. Mm-hmm. And they just used a 2nd-round pick to find a running back that can catch, which means he's going to be in for no better than 50% of the snaps. Out. Jahmyr Gibbs can do it all, and they took him at 12. David Montgomery, how many U.S. doll hairs are guaranteed on the 2nd year of that deal with David Montgomery? Oh, I'll give you a hint. It's as many hairs in my hand right now.
None of them.
0. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Vet back. We lost Jamal Williams, and he might vulture some goal line carries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about anything else.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Tomorrow we're going to play the guys that we are higher on in the industry, and it's funny. Your list in this one is looking very similar to my list for that
one. After Jahmyr Gibbs, it's Christian Kirk. There's a point where I will get to him, but I don't know how much work he's going to lose to Calvin Ridley. And I think it's going to be a lot more than you want it to be. The guy had 133 targets or something like that last year because there was he was the one. He's not the one anymore. And I feel like he's going to take a fall off a cliff.
At the very least, he's a very good 1B. You got to remember, they paid him a boatload of money, and he was good last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know exactly where he's going because I didn't get that deep. Let's see. Calvin Ridley's currently going as wide receiver 21. He's at 51 overall. Christian Kirk is at 65. Yeah, wide receiver 29. Let's go. Let's do
Taking
that.
it?
Yeah. Mike Evans or Christian Kirk?
It's Mike Evans.
It's Christian Kirk. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Baker, 4 words. Baker Mayfield. End of message. Repeat the line. Yeah, I have no qualm with Christian Kirk. There is another receiver that is a big name, and I don't love it. And you're going to look at me funny when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
It's Devontae Adams.
Why? Just because, what? He's not worth a second-round pick to you?
All right. In terms of talent, absolutely. Take this journey with me. Which one of these is not like the other? Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, who may or may not even be healthy. We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not healthy, then what do we do? Because you didn't even bring back Jared Stidham. So what's the plan now? And I cannot invest a second-round pick in a guy who might be catching his passes from Dave in accounting. I can't wrap my brain around that.
Okay.
It's too high for me.
Mm-hmm. And then
it's a name that shouldn't surprise you even in the least. It's TJ Hawkinson. I do not know what he has done to all of a sudden be a guy that in to me, a scarier offense than he was in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden now he's put in like the same conversation as Mark Andrews. And to me, that is full-on dumb talk. And I can't wrap my brain around it to save my life.
Because he's he's the number 2 option now for Kirk Cousins.
Okay. And?
It's going to boost his targets. It'll boost his opportunity to score. That's the thought here. There's no more Adam Thielen, so he takes over the number 2 role.
Okay. Let's play a fun game. Last year, TJ Hawkinson was the number 2 tight end in fantasy football.
Okay.
How many points did Travis Kelce score more than him? Kelce was 1.
I don't know, 78.
100.
Okay.
Now, of TJ Hawkinson's 215 points, which he scored in PPR leagues, how many times did he score more than 35?
In a single week?
Mm-hmm.
0.
Twice.
Okay.
That's a third of his points. We're in 2 games. Because that's what he does. How many times did he score less than 10?
4.
7.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those ridiculous games, those are non-replicable. I'm not telling you won't have one big one.
Mm-hmm.
He's much more in the... I think he could finish as the top 5 tight end just because there aren't a lot of high-end guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking him as he said, no doubt, top 5. And I don't see it. I don't see it. I think he's fine. I have him and Pat Freiermuth like neck and neck. One of them I'm getting 50 full picks later. So I will go the Freiermuth 100 times out of 100.
Okay. Final pick. Do not draft list. Who can I say here that's going to tick Jeremy off now? You know, I think I'm at this point on Javonte Williams, and it's not anything personal. Obviously, he's a North Carolina guy and love him to death, but I don't know at this point I want anything to do with Denver. There's a reason they brought in Samaje Perine, right? Coming off the ACL injury, I don't trust it. That's been a slow roll in the recovery process for him anyway. And I just don't know how much opportunity there is going to be there for him. I mean, he's obviously going to get his carries.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. Where he's going, I am not worried.
Where do they have him on the list?
Let's see here. Put it this way. I went through the top 75, and I never saw his name.
Really?
78. He's running back 28 right now. Sign me up.
Sign you up for Javonte?
Because Alexander Madison's one spot behind him, and those two are not even in the same stratosphere to me. Frankly, you can tell me Javonte Williams only has one leg, and we haven't seen it. I still would take him ahead of Alexander Madison. And he's 1 spot
100%.
behind David Montgomery. Yeah, I'm going to pass. I will pass on that.
You're going full on Javonte Williams.
I mean, it's not full on. I'm taking him in the 7th round?
That seems wild.
Let's go.
I don't think I've been in one that had him that low.
A lot of people are doing the same thing you are.
Mhm.
Oh, he's coming off the ACL, and then he does that thing of he's 45 on ESPN, and you've got a 45, a 59, and a 68. Wow, why is that guy still here? Because nobody wants to be the one that does it.
You're right.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'm not scared in the least.
I'm not. I mean, if I can get him in the 8th round or something, okay. Yeah.
And now you got to understand, this was where we're at right now. I think we've all come to the conclusion that Alvin Kamara, if he is suspended at all, is going to be for a very short period of time.
Yes.
So that will push him down even a little bit more because Kamara was going in mid rounds. By the way, that's why you don't draft in July. But I don't care.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Oh, you want to do an undrafted free agent? Only because there's one more guy that I have to say every time we talk about people that I can't stand.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go first. It would theoretically be yours, and I know you're not taking who I'm about to say.
Oh, no. Tua. There's not a shot. There's not a shot that I'm reaching out to get Tua. I don't care when it is.
Mine is James Nathaniel Connor for the 15th year in a row. The next time I have him on a fantasy football team will be the first time. I don't think I could even have 17 domestic lights and accidentally go, yeah, that one.
I feel like you did that once. I feel like you did James Conner one year in a PP or in a points per carry league,
I did
and
in that
he
stupid
piddled in your.
NFL.com league that you did because I didn't care because I was. Well, let's just say it was a Sunday and I'd had a domestic light or 5 and the stupid computer gave him to me and that's the worst team I've ever had.
He piddled in your cornflakes and you're like, no, never again.
Oh, yeah. James Conner at this point would like have to save a basket of puppies and like give a whole bunch of money to charity and no. And by the way, they can't run a greasy peg up a cat's keister. So, that doesn't hurt anything.
This is the Sportsocracy. Don't forget, you can get in on the ultimate fantasy football draft experience with us. The links to the contest are in the description of the YouTube video.
And if you think we're two, big morons and that you're so much better at fantasy football than us, you can play against us in the battle for the belt. And we might have to hand you a very bedazzled championship belt that says you're better than us, like we did with Michael Meadows last year.
When we come back from the break, time to pick up on the off-season files again, looking ahead to 2023 for the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have had a day of haze and smoke across the area. This is down from the Canadian wildfires, and it looks like it sticks around here tonight. Temperatures in the mid-60s in the valley, close to 90 tomorrow. I think we'll see some rain come in, try to clean the atmosphere out some Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chance for rain showers, temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, nighttime low temps in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, also very busy. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road, traffic is slowing. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready to go to work. It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Grab your golf clubs and get ready for the 2023 Mike Tweed Memorial Rocket Open at the Ken Muir Country Club. Monday, July 31st, it's a 12 noon shotgun start. Each team entry includes 2 mulligans per player, a long drive contest, closest to the pin, and a par 3 challenge. Plus, there's a box lunch and door prizes as well. All the proceeds benefit AC Reynolds Rocket Football. To get signed up, contact Joey Green at 828-243-8076 or email BigJoeGreen7@gmail.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
It is the Sportsocracy and time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes!
Don't do crimes. Hey, while you were gone, did you see this little viral story on the internet about the latest dumbassery from the environmental protest movement?
I did not, but I'm intrigued.
There were a couple of protesters in Germany who, you know, who cares what they did. Less emissions, whatever. They used some kind of an epoxy glue mixture to adhere their hands to the pavement on a German road, and they had to chisel out the concrete because the cans could not be removed. Now, I've not seen an update on this story.
This is why we need Mullet Mayor, because I would have a decree there.
But the possibility was raised that these two geniuses are going to have their hands amputated because they just can't get them apart because of the mixture that they used. There's a picture of the two of them, their hands side by side with all this glue and gook all over it, and they're holding a piece of the road because they couldn't get the hands unstuck. Well, now there's been a new wave of dumbassery, and now they're targeting, or they have targeted, Nancy Walton. Now, the last name you should know, the Walton family.
There was a great television show in the 80s.
Of Walmart fame.
Ah, yes.
Nancy just happens to be a grandchild. And she was given stock that now she has a fortune that ranks on the list of, biggest fortunes in the world of like $7.7 billion. But not anybody involved in the decision-making process for Walmart. She doesn't have like a CEO tag that she can influence what they do. Well, there was
So basically she was born on third base and potentially could feel like she had a triple?
100%.
That where we're headed here?
100%. Her $7.7 billion net worth has amassed her a lot of toys, obviously. And $300 million is what she spent on a super yacht.
She got any Legos? I mean, if you're going to have a lot of toys, Legos are it's pretty high.
I'm sure. She could afford all of them. And Futuro Vegetal, which is a Spanish environmental group, targeted her $300 million yacht while it was in port in Ibiza. And they spray painted it black and red using a fire extinguisher. So they have loaded the fire extinguishers with spray paint, and they go out and spray the side of this $300 million yacht, and we're holding up a sign that said, "You consume equals others suffer." Look, I get where your heart's at, guys, but your head has to be in a better place. Because if you're going to do things like this, obviously these people have been arrested, they've been detained, they're going to be facing charges, all of that. But, I mean, if you're going to target wealthy people, shouldn't you be targeting wealthy people that have some kind of a say in things?
Like, in theory, yes.
You just don't, I don't know. It just seems idiotic to me to do things like this. And how do you feel like you're even getting the message across at all? Because gluing yourself to a street and having your hands amputated, I see that and go,
hilarious. I think it's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Actually.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I do. I mean, personally, I feel like this world took a hard right turn into complete stupidity when we stopped letting stupid people do stupid things.
But we're sending a message, that you're a moron.
Yeah, here's the thing. You know what I learned over the course of the last week? Nobody cares what you think.
Our lives are at stake. And so because of that, you're going to target the granddaughter of Mr. Walton? I don't get that at all.
Yep. And you know what? Nobody will ever remember you did that.
No.
That's sweet.
But you got your, you got your 2 little minutes or 3 little minutes here on a little old radio station in North Carolina. Congratulations.
And now you don't have any hands. My story is about Manuel Diego Sosa. He did a thing that I would wager a lot of other people have done, and it caused him a great kerfuffle. What do you do with a license plate when you don't need it anymore?
Oh, you just throw it in a trunk in your closet and don't forget about it.
That's acceptable. That's not correct.
I have a collection of like 8 of them that will tell you you're wrong.
Well, maybe you will learn from the error of Mr. Sosa's ways, because he was much like you, and he thought, once I'm done with a license plate, I don't really need it anymore.
No.
And so instead of throwing it in a closet like you just said, he threw it in the trash at an AutoZone. Now, what do you think I'm getting ready to say?
Somebody dug it out of the trash and used it in a crime.
Correct. Mr. Sosa was at his house when Denver police showed up and arrested him on theft charges.
Yikes.
Now, Mr. Sosa is a lawyer, and he said, I don't do crimes. They also noticed something very strange because they caught the person that did the thievery on camera, because this happened at a Walmart store, and it was a man that stole a $199 speaker and climbed into a car bearing Mr. Sosa's license plate. The only problem is that on the video, they showed that the thief had a neck tattoo. Mr. Sosa does not. So they figured out, I think we might have the wrong person here, but that was not before Mr. Sosa was taken to police headquarters and questioned for quite some time. Don't just throw a license plate away. Also, I am only going to say what I'm getting ready to say one time. If you own a business, invest in your camera system. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Just maybe put a camera that you can see.
Right.
Because if you can't see it, then it doesn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
As obviously this Walmart learned, it just took a minute.
So let me get this straight. So when you are done with the license plate,
you are supposed to send it back
to
the DMV. Yes. And you know why? So people can't take your license plate and do crimes with it.
Mm. Yeah.
That's also why you don't throw bang-bangs in the trash. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. Anything that could be used to commit a crime, you should dispose of it appropriately.
See, I never thought about that. But, of course, like I said, yes, I have currently in my possession, well, not here, but in my possession, I have every license plate I've ever had. Never sent them back to the state. I've got North Carolina's, South Carolina's, Georgia's.
Any of them have a cool message?
I got Tennessee's.
Did you ever get a custom said like Tankster?
No, I never went for the vanity plate. I'm not a very vain kind of guy.
Oh, I am.
I'm the first person to admit that I'm an idiot. So not a lot of vanity on this side. And I just not paying. I'm cheap as hell, okay? I'm not paying $35 for a vanity plate.
That's all it is?
I don't know. I think that was the last time I priced them, which was probably 10 years ago.
See, I've never come up with anything that would be funny enough for me to do because I feel like I'm a joke maker. That's what I do. I make jokes. And I've never found anything that I could put in 8 characters on the back of my car that would be funny enough for me to go, yep, I want that forever. But yes, you don't throw away license plates. It ends badly.
Yeah, no, don't ever throw them away. You keep your own collection until somebody comes asking for them. And by my own personal experience, no one will ever come asking for that. It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving busy, 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, 26 westbound stop and go between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road delays. Hendersonville Road moving well and problem-free. Check of the drive time from Mills River to Hendersonville via NC 191, drive time 15 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. With the Chalupa Supreme Beefy 5-Layer Burrito, Crunchy Taco, Cinnamon Twist, and Medium Drink, Taco Bell's $5 Cravings Box is packed as ever. And $5 as ever. Get one at Taco Bell stores. For a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio.
We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Delivery's at the door. Can someone please unlock?
It's been an eventful afternoon with a spike in bookings at Claudia's event space.
We'd love to host Mermaid Fest.
She was already planning on having more event planners on hand.
500? That's a lot of tails.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do.
Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of Snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville. Just a couple of more minutes left in the program today. The big story of the day was watching the deadline for long-term extensions with the franchise tag players in the NFL. None of them got a deal.
Yep. Game and win.
Nothing for Saquon, nothing for Josh Jacobs, nothing for Tony Pollard. Pollard is one that has signed his tag, so he's expected to play. Now comes the question, will Josh or Saquon sit out? And I don't think they will.
I don't either. I don't see how as a running back you do. You just have no leverage.
Right. You're getting $10 million. Be thankful for the $10 million that you got, and hopefully you can work out some kind of an extension throughout the season or whenever you can. Now you can't, right? The way the rule goes, you cannot come up with a new contract extension before when?
Before next offseason.
Before the offseason? Mm-hmm. Okay. So there you go. You got free agents next year. Josh Jacobs.
If you don't get franchised again,
and
which
Saquon
is
Barkley.
Also entirely possible.
That's very true.
But while we were gone, and I do have to, sneak this in right here in the back of the program because I was doing my civic duty. You have to watch my stand-up special if you want to hear the story on that. That's the way it goes. Can't talk about it here. I can, just can't say it the way I want to. Quentin Williams getting the big deal from your 2023 Super Bowl champion, New York Jets.
Got a 4-year deal. Was it 96? $96 million.
Fine. Kenny Pickett said Quentin Williams hit me harder than any person has ever hit me in my life. Keep doing that. Well-deserved. Glad it got done. We weren't around to talk about that when it happened.
Right.
So.
And now you might sign Dalvin Cook. Make you feel warm and fuzzy?
Quentin Williams, very much so. I did not want that to carry into training camp.
But I mean Dalvin Cook.
No.
Are you excited about that prospect?
Running back. It's very exciting for fantasy football. Not all that exciting for real-life football.
Right.
I mean, I think he's fine. I'm not going to be averse to it, but it is what it is.
We'll see. The Jets have spent a lot of money in this offseason. We'll see if it pays off for wins, a playoff berth, maybe a Super Bowl berth at some point. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Back with you tomorrow at 3. Until then, take care.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We have had a day of haze and smoke across the area. This is down from the Canadian wildfires, and it looks like it sticks around here tonight. Temperatures in the mid-60s in the valley, close to 90 tomorrow. I think we'll see some rain come in, try to clean the atmosphere out some Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Chance for rain showers, temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, nighttime low temps in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic time ago, 26 westbound between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, delays. Hendersonville Road moving well. Charlotte Highway, no backups. On the Smoky Park Highway, no incidents. And Patton Avenue moving well. Check of the drive time from Canton to Clyde via US 23 southbound, drive time 7 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has great prices on everything you need for back to school. Now save up to 60% on select notebooks, markers, and more. At Staples, school savings are always in session. Offer ends July 29th. Prices may vary in store and online. School on, save on at Staples.
Spring fire season is here, and you are the best defense against wildfires. Make sure to have a water hose, bucket, steel rake, and a shovel for tossing dirt on the fire. Keep your phone with you in case you need help, and never leave a fire unattended. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov.
The free iHeartRadio app covers the sports teams you love like no one else. Catch the latest breaking news, plus the upcoming NFL season's just around the corner. And iHeartRadio is your official podcast partner of the NFL. Make the iHeart app your go-to to stay up to date on all things in the sports world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF.